When our second child was born, he did not pass his first newborn hearing screening. I remember the nurse coming in and just saying, he didn't pass. I'm sure it's fluid. We'll screen again tomorrow. They screened again tomorrow and he did not pass again. They gave us a piece of paper with some locations for the follow-up hearing screening that was recommended at that point. Everybody reassured us that it was probably fluid, and then 2 months later we had a follow-up hearing screening that told us that he cannot hear out of either ear. So I'm thankful for the newborn hearing screening because it caught it early. We were able to start early intervention and start things to help make sure he wasn't missing out on things. Honestly, I think without the newborn hearing screening, we wouldn't have known until he was showing a delay or until there was just something that made us worry. Something that would be helpful for other families to know is to have the screening done and to follow up with what's recommended. It could be nothing, but it also could be something. And I think, information is power. Us having the information for our son helped us know how to help him. If we didn't follow up, then we would have no idea. And he just started kindergarten without any delays. And I think that's because of early intervention, and we were able to start that because of the newborn hearing screening. Since the newborn hearing screening, we did follow through with hearing aids. They didn't help that much. We kind of assumed with his extent of his hearing loss that they wouldn't. So he has cochlear implants. He got them at 8 months old. So we just celebrated his 5-year hearing birthday. We did the listening and spoken language through First Steps, and then at age of 3, he aged out, and so our school system kind of stepped in from there with services. At this point in kindergarten, he's getting minimal services. He's with mainstream peers and doing well. I work for the Early Hearing Detection and Intervention Group as a parent consultant. One of my main responsibilities is I'm calling families when their child does not pass the newborn hearing screening, making sure that they have the information that they need, they've been connected to where they're going to get the testing done, answer any questions that they may have. I think having a child of hearing loss myself is really helpful because I've been in their shoes. I've actually had a parent consultant call me early on our journey, and I can kind of give them that reassurance. Some parents, you can tell, are like, I've been through this, we'll do this, it's fine. Other parents will cry on the phone, and so I think it's really helpful for me to kind of answer their questions, but also give them hope that even if your child has a hearing loss, there are so many resources and supports and people out there that it won't be a journey that they go on alone. I remember the first mom that I spoke with who had a child with hearing loss, and I remember leaving, I was like, I have hope. Like, this is the first time I feel like, she did it, we can do this. So I think that's what got me motivated at first, just to kind of be there for people who wanted a mom who had been through it. Just so important for families to follow through with the testing, even during an overwhelming time. So that really motivated me to kind of hopefully be that friendly voice on the other side of the phone. But also, you just had a baby. Who knows if they even remember that their child didn't pass the hearing screening. So sometimes even being that reminder and connecting them with the process that I'm very familiar with at this point, but 5 years ago I had no idea what the process was.